Good morning, sixth grade. Right now, we're going to be working on representing, comparing, and ordering decimals. This is not too hard, and I know Mrs. Letcher generally does a very good job with it, so it'll kind of be a reminder or revision. So order the numbers from least to greatest. Hopefully you can do this. We're only working with positive numbers, and when we do that, you see, 156, 165, 224, 242. Make sure you please read the instructions, least to greatest. If you do it backwards, I will have to count it wrong. Please read the instructions. Hey, if you want to do well, read the instructions, please. All right, the next one, hopefully you're seeing what will the answer will be, and then the final one. I think you all know how to order numbers. Now we skip over the problem of the day. All right. Learn to write, compare, and order decimals using place value and number lines. All right. So looking at this page, you can come back to it. You can stop. You can pause it here. We always start at the decimal. Then we can go ones, tens, hundreds. Going the other way, tenths, hundredths, thousandths, 10,000ths, 100,000ths. Notice the THs on the end of all of those. All right. These are things that we need to know and we need to do. When we're going to be comparing numbers, the decimal is very important. You must line up decimals when you're comparing numbers. And I have a trick that will hopefully help you. So write each decimal in standard form, expanded form, and word form. So standard form is what A is right here. That's standard form. Expanded form is something like what they've done in B here. And then in words is where you write 1 and 7/100ths. All right? Spelling is important, especially those last THs. So 1 and 7/100ths, well, they're going to show you the expanded form. Notice how they took any number that was not a 0, the 1, they wrote it with just its place value to the zeros. Then they didn't do anything with the 0. Nope, because it's a 0. We look at another non-zero, a 7. Notice how they wrote zeros in for everything except that place value. That's important. These zeros for everything but that place value. All right. Then we have in words, it's pretty much what you say when you say this. If you say it correctly, the number. 1 and 7/100ths. Notice the and is that decimal. Okay? So now, if we're doing B, they would say write it in standard form and word form. So if we would line these up like we're going to add them, so 0.0009, then I would line up the 0.006. I like to put a place value here for or a 0 there for holder, and then 0.03, excuse me. Got to make sure you look and do it correctly or it won't work out. And then think, if I add all those together, I can write it in standard or normal form. All right, so 9, 6, 3, 0, and 0. Oh, the standard form when we write it will be 0.0369 or 369 10,000ths. Okay? So now if I said it correctly, 369 10,000ths, the word form becomes very easy. 369 10,000ths. When you're doing the word form, the last one is the important one. I see 369 if I would cover everything else up. Then since it's in the 10,000th spot, I say 10,000ths. 369 10 thousandths. Okay. Now, this one they gave us in word form. 14 and means decimal, 8 hundredths. So 14 and, that means decimal, 8 hundredths. Now, I know the first one is tenths. The second place value is hundredths. Okay? So I would have 8 hundredths, and they didn't say anything about the tenths, so I can fill that in with a 0. 14 and 8 hundredths. Okay? Let's see how we did. And always means decimal. We did do pretty well. Now in the expanded form, this one is where it becomes a little bit fun. So now we start looking at every non-zero number. 1 is a non-zero number. So that's in the tens place, right? So we would write 1 and then a 0 to hold the place value. So it would be 10. Oh. I do an addition sign. Now 4 is a non-zero number. So that would be just 4, because notice with 10, I wrote the 1 and then a 0 to hold this spot right here. With the 4, I write the 4. Oh, there's no spot to write a 0 in. Then I add. We don't have to worry about this one because it is not a 0, or it is a 0. Then we look at another non-zero, 8 hundredths. So how do I write 8 hundredths? Just like that. That now is expanded form. Let's look again here. 1.12. It's better if we can say it in the correct way. 1 and, notice that's my decimal, 12 hundredths, because the 2 ends in the hundredths place value. All right, so let's look at the expanded form. Non-zero, so that would be 1. Okay, then I get to the decimal. This would be 1/10, so I'd add 1/10. Then 2 hundredths, I would add 2 hundredths. All you're really doing for expanded form is you're writing each place value all by itself alone. Okay? That's what you're doing for expanded form. Word form, if I say 1 and 12 hundredths, that's what we'll see up here. And means decimal. Okay? Here, if we think about these, now last time we wrote it out. If you have difficulty with this, you can write it out. If you don't, if you've been doing it for a while, you can probably look and you can see. All right? There's the 6. Okay? Then if I look at the next one, there were 2 zeros, so there needs to be a 0 there. Then there's an 8. Okay? And then there's a 7. 6,087 ten thousandths. We will go ahead and write these in another form. I like to start on the right side here. We're going to write 0.0007. And then we're going to write the second number here. 0, lining up the decimals, 0.008. You can hold a place value in there, or a placeholder in there. And then look at the third one. 0.06. Oops, not a 0 at the second on the back side. 0.6. All right. We do our addition. Placeholders if you want. 7, then an 8, then a 0, then a 6, then a 0. If you feel comfortable just jumping right to the answer, that's fine. Just know there's a good chance you could make a mistake, and then it does have to be wrong. This way up here would be a sure way to make sure you get it right. So let's go ahead and write it standard form. We did pretty well, all right? When we write it expanded form, we look 6,087 ten thousandths, because tenths, hundredths, thousandths, 10 thousandths. That last place value is the important one for what goes at the end. 6,087 ten thousandths. Okay? We'll do another one here. 11 and means decimal 200ths. So 11, I know how to write the number 11, and means decimal, I know how to put a decimal after the 11. 200ths. Well, I know it's tenths, then hundredths, so 200ths. Well, again, I'm assuming there's no tenths if they're not talking about tenths. So then it's 11.02 or 11 and 200ths. Let's see how we did. 11.02. So now we want to do expanded form. We're going to write each of these out. So this is the tens place, right? So if I write just that place value by itself, I would write 10. Now if it was 21.02, I would write 20. You look at just that place value. Next, I look at the ones. All right, well, that is just a 1, so I write a 1 all by itself. Then, this is a 0, so I don't have to write anything for a 0. Then I look at the next one. It is not a 0. That's 2 hundredths. So how do I write hundredths? 0.02. That is your expanded form. Let's see how we did. All right. 10 plus 1 plus 2 hundredths. That would make 11.02 or 11 and 200ths. All right. Now we look a little bit further. The Star Wolf 359 has an apparent magnitude of 13.5. So we just talked about that in science. It's wonderful these came together. Suppose another star has an apparent magnitude of 13 and 5 hundredths. Which star has the smaller? I am going to show you a way to compare these really quickly and really easily. All right, so I have 13, I can write it, and 5 tenths. I have 13 and 5 hundredths. I'm going to write a place value or a placeholder here. Now, I write a placeholder there. You don't have to. Some of you may already know how to order these, but I do it because then I can look at them like there's no decimal in there. Oh, this top number? 1,350. Okay, I can kind of pretend that's that. This bottom number? 1,305. Which one's bigger? 1,350 or 1,305? Oh, we see that 1,350 is bigger. And we see that 1,305 is smaller. So we decide to circle 1,305 or 13 and 5 hundredths. That is the smaller of the two. All right. If you'll line up the decimals and put placeholders there, you will get to know very quickly and very easily which one is bigger or smaller by just showing that they're regular numbers. Line up the decimals. They did that. All right. Look for the first difference. Oh, 5 is different than 0. 5 is bigger. So 0 is less than 5. We know that 13 and 5 hundredths is less than 13 and 5 tenths. All right. So we go again. Here, 11 and 3 tenths, 11 and 3 hundredths. Which star has the smaller? Okay. Again, if we put 11 and 3 tenths, and we line up 11 and 3 hundredths, and it is always good to have that placeholder there. Now, if I look at them, 1,130 or 1,103? Oh, 1,103 is the smaller of the two, because I can just act like I'm comparing regular numbers if I put that place value in there and turn them into regular numbers. All right? We move on. Let's go. They talk about it. Ah, we see that difference, and we go. All right. Now they're wanting you to order a bunch. You may as well just start. So I'm going to take this number right here, 16, and I put a place value holder. All right, 16. So now I take this one, and I put them here. All right, they're all the same. If I look at them like 1,667, 1,660, 1,607, I can very quickly and easily see, order them from least to greatest. Instructions are important. So 1607, that would be the smallest or the least. Then 16, that would be the next least. And then 1,000 or 1667 would be there. All right, and the way that we can know that is we looked at them as if they were regular numbers without decimals. When we put all our placeholders in there, like that 0, and then we could easily see the order they go in. Line them up, then order them. All right, so we look at those. So we see, oh, this one is less than this one. All right. Then we compare the next group, and again we see another comparison and a final comparison. Then we can order them on a number line. We won't have to show a number line, but they do show this to show the size comparison. I think showing the place value comparison where you line up the decimals is plenty of proof. So again, if we do that, we'll take this number, 1, 2, 4, put a placeholder there. Then you put 1202, all right? And as you look at them, you can see, if you pretend like the decimal is no longer there, 1,202, 1,240, 1,242. All right, we went from bottom to top there. You can quickly and easily see, oh, here is the least, here is the greatest, and then this one is the middle. Oh, least, middle, greatest. All right. So they're going to do their comparisons again, and let's see if they come out with the same. They compare them on a number line, and they did get least, middle, greatest. All right? They got the same results that we got. I think you guys are ready, and we will be having a live lesson if this didn't help.